Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and if this is the first video of mine that you're catching, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I love ordering mystery boxes online, stocking my stores with inventory from those boxes. I love showing you on this channel what I'm getting and then coming back a few months later to give you an update and show you what's actually sold and give you just money results and whether or not I would buy or invest in another box based on my results. So today I'm doing an update on the Luck of the Draw box. And so if you want to see how this one did for me, definitely stick around. So this one sort of caught my attention because, you know, there were some, when I looked at the brand list, there was definitely some that, you know, I would absolutely love to source. And with a mystery box that's mixed brand and pre-owned, everybody's is going to be different. It really is the luck of the draw on any pre-owned mystery box. But this one was specifically called Luck of the Draw. The cost of goods was right. And my strategy, as with many secondhand boxes, was to pick out the best things with the low cost of goods, the things I think I could make profit on, and then not really put my time and effort into the rest of it and maybe send it to ThreadUp or, you know, and pretty much just send anything else I could to ThreadUp to recuperate some cost that way without actually, like, you know, putting any time into it. So at the end of the day, I ended up listing 17 out of the 40 pieces, which, you know, as long as the 17 that I'm listing I think are profitable, then that's totally ideal. This box cost me $5.39 a piece divided by that 17, or $91.63 total. Again, super reasonable cost of goods, pretty low risk if you ask me. So I was really excited to give this one a try. So what I'll do today is I will break down for you what sold, how much it sold for, what platform it sold on. Then I'll talk about what I have left. And then at the very end, I will rerate the box based on ease of listing, quality of items, and overall profitability. I rated the box initially. When I open it up, I'll link that down below if you want to watch it. I will rate it now, though, based on my actual numbers. So if you like content like this, certainly consider subscribing to the channel. I love opening mystery boxes, and I love giving you these updates a few months later. It helps hold me accountable for, you know, what I like to source, and hopefully it helps you make some decisions for your own reseller business. Okay, so first of all, let me show you what has sold. Out of the 17 that I listed, I have sold 8. So I have 9 items left. So from lowest sale price to high, the first one was this short sleeve crop top from the brand Benetton, which I think this was a vintage piece. I'm pretty sure just by looking at it. And this did not sell for a lot. It sold for $14, but it was only listed for 5 days. And this is a very much spring and summer type shirt. It's got a flower on the front. It's pale yellow, but it sold on Poshmark in October. So it got a ton of interest really quickly. And I mean, for what it was, I didn't think it was worth much more than $14. So maybe I sold myself short on that one a little bit, but I'm happy with $14 for it. Then there was the Katarina one pocket scrub top in terracotta. This one sold on eBay, and actually this one was sold and returned and then sold again. So it sold again on October 20th. So ultimately, it took about 7 weeks to get out of here twice. But that one's, the second sale stuck at $16 plus the buyer paid shipping. There was the cotton cashmere Fair Isle turtleneck sweater. This one actually took a while. So this one took a little over 2 months, 2.5 months. Yeah, and this was an eBay sale. It sold for $25 on eBay. I thought this was a very, it almost had like a vintagey vibe. Like, I don't want to say grandmacore, maybe a little bit grandmacore. And so it got some good interest, but I do think it kind of had to wait for the right buyer. And I'm pretty sure the person that bought it sent me a $25 offer, which I was happy to accept. Then there was, oh, these cat sweaters. A part of me deeply regrets not throwing these on and at least just filming a video for fun, not wearing them. And I'll tell you why I didn't, because I got these in August and they sold not too long after I listed them. They were only listed for, what, 2 weeks? And I live in Georgia, and in August, September, when these sold, it is hot. And my office does not climate control well, which means when it's cold outside, it's really cold in here. And when it's hot outside, it is hot in here. And there was no way on this earth that I was putting those heavy sweaters on, even for a minute in this office in August or September. So, womp womp, that's sad. They were super cool though, and they were my size. It would not have been practical for me to keep them for any reason, because it doesn't ever get cold enough here for me to wear them. But in the right circumstance, I totally would have kept them because they were so cool. But anyway, they ended up both selling on Depop to the same buyer. And funny story about what happened with this one, actually. So it was the same buyer on Depop. She bought both of these. And I don't remember which one she bought first, but whichever one she bought first, I sent her the wrong one. And I'm like, oh crap, because these are such nice sweaters and I thought were substantial pieces out of the box. And so, I told her, go ahead and do a return, whatever, like I will send her the right one. I'll make it right. And she actually just ended up saying, you know what, I like the one you sent me, but I still want the other one. So if you'll give me the other one at the same price, I'll buy them both. So hey, problem solved. I just had to ship the second one to the same buyer. So they sold within 4 days of each other for the same price, $29.80. Depop takes no fees, hardly. I paid less than $2 in fees on each of these. So I will call that a solid mess up followed by a solid win. Don't do what I do to try to make a sale. That results on that are not typical, but I am very lucky that she ended up wanting both sweaters. Then there was the multicolor crew neck mountain range sweater from Crimson Clover. I had never heard of this brand, but apparently, it has a decent little following. This sold on eBay. It took a little under 30 days, but it sold on eBay for $35. Again, I do think that somebody sent me an offer on that one, which I was happy to accept, given my low cost of goods. I had the Evelyn striped cashmere sweater from Petite Studio. Again, I never heard of this. It was a size extra small. And this one sold in 30 days on Poshmark for $40. To be honest, I do not remember if this was somebody sent me an offer or if this was my full asking price. If it was my full, I wouldn't be surprised if it was my full asking price. I probably listed this up a little bit because it was cashmere, but I also knew that because it was not a popular brand, at least that I know of, I didn't expect to get a ton for it. So anyway, $40 I think is more than fair for that one. And then there's one other one, the highest selling item out of this box. I had the Devon wide leg jeans in, the color was called Canyon Clay. These were the brand Etika, which I had never sold before. They were a size 26, so a smaller size. And these took a little while to sell. They took a little over 90 days. They sold in December, but they sold for $54 on Poshmark. And these, I had just done a closet clear out, which I think I listed them a lot higher. Actually, I listed them closer to like $75. And I had dropped the price a few times before this, but I had dropped the price that day and somebody purchased them during closet clear out. Okay, so that's everything that I have sold. Let me talk quickly about what I have left, because I do think I have some pretty substantial pieces left. I have the Embrace cutout strappy sports bra. Actually, that's a lie. I do not have this because I put a few things that just haven't been selling on auction on eBay just to kind of, bring up my shipping rates, because my shipping times declined a little bit during the holidays, really to little to no fault of my own. Honestly, just the post office was so congested that I have some late shipments on my record. And in order for me to try to boost that number, I put some things on auction for 99 cents so that I can get some orders out now that it's slowed down and hopefully bring my shipping times up. So this actually did sell on auction for $3. I haven't shipped it yet. It's actually, I don't even think it's been paid for. It hasn't been paid for yet, but it will go out the door for $3.25 here today. Hopefully today, the person that won the auction pays for it. That had no interest, and I wanted to take advantage of the January people buying workout stuff season. So that's why I did that. Then I have the jersey sleeveless ruffle neck tank top in pink. This was Gretchen Scott. I had never heard of this brand either, but apparently this one does decent too. This is, however, a very summery piece. So it's not listed for a ton, but I don't think right now is a good time to try to sell it, or at least through the fall and winter season that it had been listed so far. I do have higher hopes though as we roll into spring and summer, so fingers crossed on that one. I've got this lace long sleeve maternity dress. It's BCBG Max Azria. I actually pulled this one out to list based on the style. I didn't realize though it was a maternity dress until I was like looking up comps and stuff. So this one doesn't have a ton of interest, but you know, maternity is such a small niche that that's a right buyer situation. And again, hopefully as spring and summer rolls around, somebody will need this. Here's another, this is a Peloton branded t-shirt. I also have had this on auction for a couple of weeks for 99 cents. This one hasn't had any bids, but I'm just going to keep rolling with it to hopefully bring up my shipping numbers a little more. I've got this 3-button blazer in green. This was LL Bean, size 12 petite. This one hasn't had a ton of interest either, but I know that certain LL Bean pieces do particularly well, so I actually listed this one just to try. There's this popover blouse from the brand Elemente Clemente. Again, a brand I've never heard of. And actually this box, I will say, was very interesting to list, and it forced me to research some brands I'd never heard of, which is always a plus with a mystery box. This is really just kind of a plain blouse. The brand itself, when I looked at comps for just like the brand in general, seemed decent enough for me to list it, but this is not getting very much attention at all. I have this black sequin collar jacket. I can't tell if it's pajamas or not, if I'm being honest. It's Victoria's Secret, and I really do not like Victoria's Secret. I do not like listing it. I don't like selling it. To me, the stuff is usually not good quality, honestly. And anytime I ever get it or see it, it's like faded, or it tends to like, it's fast fashion, and I don't get the hype. I personally don't. And the only reason I listed this is because it appears to be an older style, perhaps even vintage. And I know that there is a nice little niche market for vintage Victoria's Secret. So I decided to give it a try. It's not moving. I swear, whenever I decide to try to sell vintage Victoria's Secret, I fail miserably. So I don't know enough about it, or I just don't know the right pieces. So unfortunately, that is still here. And then the last two, I think they do still have some pretty high potential. I probably just need to play with the price a little more. The first one is the scuba pullover from Lululemon. I mean, it is a crazy color, kind of, but it is a scuba pullover, which at one point, maybe still, are pretty popular. This one's a size 6, and I probably do need to lower the price a little bit because Lululemon is not selling for what it once did, and I do believe I priced this pretty high. And then there's also, this one I don't have as high of hopes for. There's this men's gray Lululemon polo, and I estimated it as a size medium, but really there's no size indicator on it, which I do think is making it hard to sell. Probably not as much potential on that one. So anyway, that is what I have left. All right, so let's talk about the results of this box as a whole. So I listed 17 out of 40. And then that averaged out to $5.39 per piece. So I think that for the amount I was able to pull out and list that I felt was worth my time versus the return on it, I think I'm happy with the decision I made there to send about half of it to ThredUp and not try to list it. I am happy with the cost per piece for the items I felt were that I was able to list. And I mean, the quality was as expected. If I remember correctly, and I feel like a lot has happened since I opened this box back in the end of summer of 2025. But the stuff that I was able to list, I do think was really great quality. I do think there was some, wear and small stains and stuff that with a secondhand box just kind of come with the territory. But I think overall, the variety was pretty good. It wasn't really hard to list this stuff, especially because I did pull out only about half of it. So I think really, and what it always comes down to is numbers. So to recap, I paid for this box $91.63. And as of right now, I've made $212.69. So if I take my $212.69 minus my initial $91.63, I've profited $121.06. So I have doubled my money, absolutely. And I still have, because with a box where the cost of goods is so low, I typically want to triple my money, and I'm not there yet, but I do think that even just a couple of these pieces that I have left, if they were to sell, will get me a lot closer to that point. And given that I only listed less than half of the box, I think that's pretty darn good. And I don't have exact numbers for you on what happened with ThreadUp and anything else, because once I send things to ThreadUp, they're out of my inventory. They pretty much just go into La La Land. I don't have the resources to track all of that carefully. And so I kind of, track my profit on that as a whole, not as individual pieces. But yeah, I'm going to give this an oh yeah. I was very, very happy with the results of this box. I'm excited about the profit that it brought in, and I'm excited that I still have some decent things in here to bring me hopefully even a little bit more profit. Now, that being said, a secondhand mixed brand box is going to be different for everybody. And so definitely let me know down below if you've ever ordered this and if you got anything good, how the results went for you. It's going to vary from person to person, but I wanted to come on and show you like potentially what would be in a box like this, in hopes that it helps you make some decisions for your own reseller business. NuSource does not specifically have a box called Luck of the Draw anymore. I know that they switched around some of the sorts and some of the names of the boxes when the changes happened. But if you want to check out NuSource, they have both first quality and secondhand boxes available. And I have it linked down below. You can take 10% off your order with my affiliate code OHYEAH, OHYEAH. Just type it in at checkout and it takes 10% off of anything you order from the site. It doesn't matter if it's secondhand or first quality. If you're sourcing on there, you might as well take the 10% off, right? So give it a try, check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this. I love sharing these updates with you, especially when it's a good news story. We all love a good news story, but they're not always this good, and I will share with you either way. Hit that like button on the way out if you could, and that is it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video.